Afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on what part of the wonderful world you happen to be in. My name is Craig Peloquin, and my co-host,
Dennis Wilson.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing good. It's a sunny day in Vancouver. It's July. You believe that? It's already July. We're more than halfway.
Yeah, well, happy Canada Day, 4th of July, great long weekend. It's that one time where Canada and the United States kind of work it out, where Canada Day's on the Friday and July 4th is on the Monday.
Right. Perfectly messes up business for 4 entire days.
For everybody.
For everybody.
It's great. So we're gonna have a little bit of a different topic today. We thought we'd do it here live in Vancouver together, so that instead of we're on the different screens, because we're going to be a little more interactive, talking about building your business during the summer months.
Did you say you're supposed to build your business during the summer months, Craig?
Absolutely, building the business through the summer. But before we get into that, we got to lay the ground rules.
All right,
we do that. Ground rules to our MLM Mastermind training. What is the ground rules?
Ground rules are: don't mention your company name. Don't mention your product name. Don't play cute games in the message box to try to get people interested in what you do. This is a place where you come, where we're here spending our time to help you build your business in no matter what business you're in, no matter what MLM you've chosen. So please just respect that this is a place to mentor each other, learn and grow. It's not a place to come to try to prospect other people that are on the line.
And let's talk about why we do this, for a couple of reasons. And we're going to talk about that today in building your business through the summer. Because what I do is I use these Wednesday trainings in prospecting. Yes. When I'm talking to people that are already focused on their MLM business. Mm-hmm. So when I approach somebody that's involved in MLM, because let's face it, everybody, if you're going to talk to people through social media, people know it's easier to talk with somebody that understands MLM or network marketing than to get a newbie. Because you don't have, the learning curve is shorter,
much shorter.
And I asked them 2 questions: if they're committed, they're already focused, or if they're open.
Right.
I mean, our mentor, that's what he taught us. That's how we start.
Focused or you open?
Open or focused. If they're open, then you have a reason to talk to them about your MLM company.
Correct.
But if they're focused, please do me a favor. Do not go and try to go and do I'll show you yours, you show me mine routine. That never worked. It didn't work. Didn't work in elementary school.
No, that's right.
It's certainly not going to work in business. So, that doesn't work. You're both sitting there trying to figure out ways to convince each other that yours is better. My dad's stronger than your dad. That doesn't work.
It's just crap.
So why not make a friend in the industry?
There you go.
Now, I know that sounds kind of weird. Now, this is but this is why I use the MLM Mastermind training. Now, I don't personally recruit for the company that I work with. I'm corporate at an MLM company. But when I teach the members how to go and recruit, if somebody is focused, that's why I use this MLM Mastermind training to say, hey, look, I don't know what you use in your company for training, but I happen to be part of a really unique MLM Mastermind. Mm-hmm. And every Wednesday they bring in special guest speakers. The 2 guys that are running it are $1 million income earners in the industry as distributors. And they just teach you what they've been doing over the past 22 years. They bring in special guests that have typically as much or more experience than they do. And we learn something every single time. I mean, I know every time we bring in a special guest, we learn something new.
Even if it's just a new way to do what you used to do, it's something but it's new words to wrap around it. I mean, it's just brilliant, the things you learn whenever you get people in the industry that you don't know, because they didn't necessarily learn from the mentors you learned from. So they just have a slightly different spin. And sometimes you have been using something for 10 years and then you hear someone else do it a different way and you like it better. So you take that. So yeah, I mean, the more sort of things you can do to get outside of your company and get a fresh perspective from people that aren't just in your company, the more you're going to pick up the skills that the people in your company may not have known. As long as you can come somewhere safe like this, where you're not going to get inundated with everyone trying to cross-sponsor you into something else.
Yeah. So use this as a tool, especially in the summer. Now, the summer months, let's just get right into it. In the summer is when now the kids are out of school.
Yeah.
They're doing things. You're taking them over to friends' places, so you're seeing your kids' parents.
Yes.
You're seeing typically a lot of family get together.
And barbecues and friends of friends. And sometimes you're the third wheel, which you don't like unless you're in MLM. Then you really like it because you get to expand your group of friends.
And we just had the long weekend, and I'm sure that everybody listening to this call spent some time with family or friends over the long weekend.
Yep.
It would make sense. Unless, of course, you're a loner. Nobody likes you.
Then you should get an advertising budget to build your MLM business.
But in all seriousness, when the thing that people do, two things typically happen in your network marketing business. You either watch it explode over the summer or you watch it stagnate. Yep. And you get to choose what's going to happen in your business.
Yep.
Now, because I've been told both things, Dennis. I've been told over the years that the best time to build my MLM is over the summer. And I've been told take holidays, in the summer, because nothing happens in the summer.
And I lay somewhere in the middle. I believe that in the summertime, everything takes twice as much effort. But if you put in the twice as much effort through the summer and build your list and warm people up and plant the seeds, when it comes middle of September and it's busy, your business is going to absolutely explode. So it's worth the extra effort. You're going to get 4 times out for 2 times in, or you can go on holidays like everyone else, and then you can wait until November before you start to get some momentum, just before it dies for December. It's your choice. We recommend redouble your efforts through the summer, make more friends, get more people into your prospecting system, get more leads on the go, make connections. Don't necessarily vomit all over your friends about the business, but reconnect with them. So in a couple of weeks, you can have a natural cup of coffee with them, that at the very end of it, okay, the end of the cup of coffee, 2 weeks after reconnecting at the barbecue. Notice we're not saying grab them for a cup of coffee at the barbecue and vomit all over them. You don't mention your business at all. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing a little thing on the side that makes some money. What's all that about? Oh, you know what? Let's just have some beers, man. We're here to barbecue. That's your answer. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, hey, Fred, you'd asked me what I do, and I'm sorry, I was just really in relaxing mode. Would you like to get together for a cup of coffee to explore it? If they say yes, great. If they don't, whatever. Or you go the other way around. Don't bring it up. Hey, man, it was so nice to connect with you again at the barbecue. Why don't you and I grab a cup of coffee? And then you don't present anything at the cup of coffee. You don't talk about it. You talk about everything that's normal. And at the very end, you get up to go. Craig, I just thought about this. I just got into this thing. It's a way to make a little money on the side. I don't know if you're interested or not, but hey, man, what are you doing Thursday night? Maybe you should pop out there with me. And then leave because the parking meter's up. Any excuse at that point, shut her down, get out.
Yeah.
Don't describe it. Don't do anything. Get out. That way, your friend doesn't think you set them up to have a cup of coffee just to prospect them. Okay? Super simple technique. Don't do what everybody else does, and you'll probably make more money than the people that aren't making money.
Well, and that's just the whole thing here too. It's making the connections, especially over the summer, and it's making friends. You got to make friends first,
or remake your friend, or reconnect with your friend. Get something back in common with a guy you haven't seen him in 2 years. And the first, hey, Craig, man, hey, you wouldn't want to join this MLM thing with me, would you? Well, that friend doesn't want to meet you again at a barbecue. Don't do that. Just get back in touch and know that, hey, you know what? Now I know what he's doing. I know he's not that happy. He doesn't have enough money. He doesn't have enough of a life. He's told me all of his complaints over a couple of beers. Now you know what to say to him when you're at the next presentation where you're not presenting. You're just making friends until the very end.
And let's talk about that when you're actually at these events. Because, I see this mistake happen time and time again. I see 2 things happen. And they're both wrong. Okay. So these are the 2 things that I see that happen to people when they're at a social event with family and friends.
Yeah.
Okay. They're either over the top excited, uber excited about their business, and they can't stop, right?
You mean irritating.
And irritating, and they go into total prospecting mode right there, telling about how great their products are. It's curing their cancer. It's that made a blind person see again.
Oh God!
This person that can no longer walk is walking. I mean, it's a miracle in a bottle. I mean. And they go over the top, and everybody kind of moves away from them.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty soon, the one guy that's trapped is sweating. He's unhappy. He probably wants to die, and you can't find anybody else. There's nobody else left in the room you're in. There's nobody else in the corner of the yard you're in. And then somehow, magically, as you walk towards people, it just sort of parts away.
Part of the Red Sea. There you go.
And you might as well go home.
So that's the wrong. Now, the other wrong way is when people ask you how you're doing, you have no enthusiasm at all.
Good.
And I've seen it time and time again. They talk about how much their job, they don't like their job. They don't talk about their business in a positive light, because maybe right now your MLM isn't doing what you want.
Right.
Maybe you're not making it. Maybe you're not making the money that you want yet. It hasn't kicked over. You just got started. But instead of...
Okay, hang on. I got to stop you right there. Sorry, I just got to stop you right there. If you're not making the money you wanted, you need to take a look at what you're not doing, because you're probably doing nothing,
right?
Or you need to look at what you're doing wrong. Because if you're actually putting in the hours and you're not getting to a couple $100 a month and you're not getting that growing, then you're doing something wrong.
True.
Or more than likely, you haven't done anything with your business for a month and a half. And then you're going to that event and you're feeling grumpy because you want to find some new people because you haven't made any money. But you're forgetting that you didn't do any work.
True.
Try that at your job. See how much money you get.
I get that.
Sorry.
But if you're going to go to an event, people ask you how things are going.
Awesome.
Don't tell them all the shit stuff. I almost swore.
Oh, you almost, yeah, I did. This is live TV. Well, it's a webinar.
All this stuff that is going wrong in your life.
YouTube.
All right. They start saying, this isn't happening, and I haven't been able to go on a vacation, or I haven't been able to do this. I haven't. You know what? Don't talk about your business, but talk about the positive. You know what? Things are going really well. My job, it's still there. You can say I'm doing a little something on the side that I'm pretty excited about, but that's not why I'm here today. Right. So you know what? But yes,
it's not like you keep it a secret. Just don't get into details. Don't say, oh, I'm doing something on the side. Oh, well, what's that all like? You know what? Don't get into it when they say that. You know what? Let's just carry on with the barbecue, but I'm more than happy to meet with you another day to talk about it. Deflect it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get amped up. You're going to get amped up. You're excited about what you're doing. You're supposed to be. You're changing your life. He's not. Right. You want to help him. I get it. But don't do it there.
That's exactly it.
Set the appointment.
But at least have that reserved enthusiasm.
Correct.
Right? It's got to be contained. You can't be, what we see all the time. Can't do that.
You talking about me again?
No, actually, because I don't think I've ever seen you that way. We do get excited about what we do, but you've got to. It's like a game of chess.
It is a game of chess.
And that's the easiest way to put it. I do play chess, so it's easy. You've got to be thinking 4 or 5 moves ahead.
That's correct. All
right, and in business, if you want to be successful, right now when you're at that meeting, you're just moving your pawn out. Okay, that's all. You've just done. You just moved your pawn out too. That was your first move. You're not going to win the game.
No.
On that first move.
No.
You've got to be thinking about checkmate.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be thinking down the road. What are you going to be doing? When are you going to connect next? Now, and treat it like a game.
Yeah.
But a serious game. Treat it like a business.
Well, treat it like a game that actually has a monetary prize for the winner.
There you go.
Go get the money.
Yeah. So chess would be a really good example on that.
I never paid chess for money.
No.
You must be really good.
But when you think about it, at the end of the day, backgammon now that's more like a little bit of fun. That's paid for money.
Yeah, I'm not good at that one either.
No, okay.
I think I know how to play it though.
How about poker? Poker. We could use that as an example.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's not luck. There is skill involved in that. You got to understand the game, and you got to know what works. Know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to
and know when to lie. And I love that they made up a new word so you don't have to feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Bluff. Right? Can you imagine if your kid said, "No, Dad, I didn't lie. I was just bluffing." Yeah, I don't think that would go over well. So, and that's just what I want to say about the event. So you want to be there. You want to have controlled enthusiasm when you meet people. One of the great things that you can do is just in the back of your mind, either through the Hour a Day app on your phone, and say, you know what, if you want to talk later, I'd be more than happy to just, let me just set up a time. Can I confirm what your email address is? You know what, I'll send you an email later on, tell you what I'm doing. That's not what I'm here today for. And please, no matter how hard they push, come on, Dennis, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what I really want to know. No, come on, Dennis, you can tell me. The more you deflect it, the more they'll want it, the more likely they are to show up at the meeting when you're there to discuss it.
Exactly.
Don't be stupid about it. Just say, look, I don't want to get into it right now because then I'm going to get all excited and then it's going to bore everyone to tears. I don't want to do that. I want to come here and relax and meet some friends. So how's your wife doing? Just deflect. Yeah. Easiest way to deflect, start asking them questions and they'll quickly get interested in themselves and stop asking you.
Good. And when you're asking them questions, make sure that you're keeping mental notes, right? Yeah. They're talking about, things that aren't going well. I really wanted to go on a summer vacation. We couldn't afford it this year.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be little signs that are going to say, you know what, I'm kind of looking to make a little bit extra, but I haven't been able to find anything. You know, I'm working 60 hours a week.
And you're going to pop open your app and you're going to take some notes after you're finished that conversation before you go meet your other friends. Because that way you're trapping that. I'll tell you a little trick I've been doing. I've been doing something new with the Small Business Dream and the Hour a Day apps. So now when I meet people.
And the difference is, for those that are saying Small Business Dream and Hour a Day. Okay, so the difference between the two.
Small business, the other is for MLM.
Okay.
So it's a CRM system. It allows you to collect and control your data. So you can scan business cards, you can enter new people, you can do surveys, you can collect data, you can do email blasts, email follow-up, all this cool stuff. So what I've been doing now is I've set my survey that happens after I scan a card or after I add a contact to have what industry they're in, what alcohol they like, don't like to drink, red wine, white wine. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. And then what sports they like to watch, what sports they like to play. And I've just put these things into my survey. So now when I'm talking to a guy and he's holding a beer, whether I know him or not, or whether he's an old friend or not, I go, oh man, if I know he likes beer, I'm going to say, you still a beer drinker? And he's going to be like, yeah, man, I love this craft beer, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to go, beer. And I'm going to be like, so what are you doing again? You still an engineer? Yep. Without him looking, engineer. What sports do you play? And I've now collected 4 or 5 data points. Now, here's what happens with the alcohol one. Imagine this. Your friend that you haven't talked to in 10 years, you meet him at a barbecue. And you find out that he is a beer lover, or you didn't know that, or you didn't, doesn't matter. But now you have it recorded. And now, because you recorded it, the system automatically drops them into an email series that's set to send them an email in 38 days. You know, when we met, or the last time we met, or hey, the last time we met, you had said that you were interested in beer. I just tripped across this real cool article on the internet about beer. I thought I'd share it with you. Dennis, signature line, you know, come with me and make some money in your spare time with ABC, amazing company. So now what did I just do? I did a very, very soft close because it's just a signature line, which people ignore, except they don't ignore, but they don't hold them against you.
Right.
Right? Anything below your name, they don't hold against you. Anything above your name, they'll hold against you.
It's true.
Right? So I've just given them a nice piece of information. They think that I've cared about them and remembered them and thought about them in real time. They don't know that the day they told me that they're a craft beer lover, I put them into the craft beer category, which automatically triggered them into the craft beer follow-up at a random number of days out in the future, that I now just contacted them with the nicest, most friendly gesture, even if I've completely forgotten about them.
That's right.
So by using some sales automation apps in a creative way, you can really amp up all of these meetings. Even if you don't go for the kill right away, you can just get them back to thinking that you're a pretty cool dude, right? I remember liking that guy. He was thoughtful, or better yet, wow, he used to be a prick. And now he's thoughtful.
Prick his finger.
Prick his finger. Right? So, you know, like if you get some of your technology in order, the things you can do to keep reaching out and touching people fully automated that they don't. What if he says, well, I like craft beer, but actually I really like red wine. Okay, craft beer, red wine. Now he's in 2 series. He gets 2 random emails. Oh, and he's a soccer player. Great.
But it's so important and to realize you created Hour a Day, and that got both of us to our first million in network marketing.
Yep.
And to tell you how important it was back then, you did something that was so good that it's been copied now by every social media site on the planet. You had an email follow-up on their birthday.
Yes.
Before Facebook.
Oh, it used to be so much more powerful than it is now.
Now
Facebook
it's
screwed it up for me.
But now you know when everybody's birthday is. 10 years ago, You didn't. So when you'd get an email from Dennis saying happy birthday, or from me saying happy birthday, they go, how do you remember it's my birthday? I had no idea. It was automated. It was a little thing.
I would get it. So again, every time you're in a connection, if you're using a proper piece of software, you should always be thinking about what data am I collecting? And just give yourself a little couple of seconds after that interaction's over and you move to the other, or the next morning or whatever, and take the time to go bring up a few of your contacts, or add them if they're not yet a contact, and categorize them. Because the more people you have, right? Data's great. Okay, data's great, but it doesn't mean you're going to get rich. However, categorized data is millions and millions of dollars of future income. Because when you start reaching out to people in a really, really personal sounding way, To them, it's personal. They don't realize it's automated. They don't realize that you click one button and that happened 37 days later and the wine one went out 46 days later. They think that you're a genuine person, and you are. You thought enough to buy a system and put them in it. Yeah. You're a genuine person. You're thinking about them. You knew they liked wine. You cared to ask. Yeah. How many of their friends don't know they like red wine? Probably a whole bunch.
Think about in your own MLM company right now. You have a product or a service that you're offering. Imagine when somebody is trying your product or service for the very first time, and you have a follow-up series of emails that connects with them as they're using it, telling them what they should expect, what they should see, how much money they should be saving.
I know what you're doing. You're tricking them. You're pre-programming them to expect those results. How dare you?
But
I've never seen a commercial do that. I mean, Tide. Have you ever seen the Tide side not come out cleaner?
Exactly. So you can precondition to them what they should expect. You could be putting in little links to, you know what? Here's a link to a testimonial that is on your company website. Here is a link to some information that you might like about it. Here is a link that you, but you're just subtly sending them out, but you tell them that they're going to get it. You know,
that's right.
Hey, look, do you mind? I know you're going to be trying the products, and I'd love to have you as a customer, but do you mind that I just put you into a system that'll just follow up with you not like 7 emails a day, but it'll just follow up with you every day.
See how you doing.
Just to follow up and let you know, to remind you to use the product or try the product or whatever happens
to be. Exactly. Other uses for the product.
I've never had anybody say, no, I don't want to get the good information.
They've already agreed to try your product.
Yeah.
So you might as well drop them in something that makes sure they use them properly, adopt them properly, do them properly, think about how to use them properly, make sure they use enough of it properly.
Right.
It's automated.
And then
what do you have to lose?
And maybe your company has a weekly online presentation. Maybe they've got a webinar. Maybe they've got a conference call that can be put into that as well. So once you've got them in the system, then it's really easy to be able to send out an email blast to everybody.
Even easier now. Today or tomorrow or maybe Friday, okay, let's say Monday, a bunch of new features are going live that allow you to say, I want to send this person this email every Thursday until they say stop.
Ooh.
I want to send this email to everybody every 3rd Wednesday of the month.
So this would correspond then to a weekly webinar or a weekly conference call or something.
Literally, you could have people and it would just automatically remind them. And if you're doing
a webinar, I like that.
You know,
I'm excited.
The key would be, if you're going to do that, make sure that you don't put the webinar link directly in the email, because then you'd have to go change the email all the time.
Right.
You'd make the webinar link go to a landing page, and the landing page would be the thing that you update the webinar link to.
Yes.
Plus, then you get some tracking as to how many people are coming. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. When that new feature rolls out, the amount of email control you have. Oh, and you'll be able to set what time you want that prospect, what time and day. So if you've set him to follow up in 7 days, but you've also said I only want to deliver emails to him on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 11 in the morning, the system will automatically adjust the next send day to the next Wednesday or Thursday to accommodate, even if it said 7 days. It might be 10 days now, because you know that he only reads his emails on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So there's a bunch of stuff coming that actually work really, really well for networkers, because now that whole trying to pester someone every week instead of trying to figure out the days and follow up 7 days, you can just say, look, send him one every Wednesday, remind him that Thursday's a conference call.
Cool. That'd be great also for your team.
Awesome for your team.
Awesome for your team. And as you know, not a prospects. Think about what that does for your team when you can go remind all your team members.
Massive.
They're in your hour a day, easy follow-up. Fantastic to do. And I'm assuming then that could be an email series follow-up, or you could put them into the social series as well to remind you to go and send them Twitter is automatic, but maybe it's a Facebook message. You know, maybe you're connecting with them by a text message.
So it'll tell you what you meant to say. So the key to that is semi-automation. So you'll set up a series that has the general blurb of what you intend to say. And then on top of that, it'll come up and say, do you want to send this? And give you the opportunity to write that one sentence to make it completely custom. You copy it, you paste it into Facebook Messenger, you send it. And it was interesting. I just had a really interesting call today with one of my clients. And she's like, I don't know what's going wrong. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? She says, well, you know, so much of my contacts now with Facebook. I said, okay, cool. So how are you communicating with everyone? She says, well, I'm posting in my Facebook group. I said, well, what else are you doing?
She's like, you mean I should be doing something else?
Yeah. So I was like, well, hang on, this is a bit of a problem. I said, so when you follow up with people on social media, what do you do? She says, well, I send them to the page. Okay, and do you know they went to the page? No. Do you remind them to go to the page again? No, because, you know, how do you remember to do that with those people? And I'm like, well, that's what Hour a Day is for, because it'll actually remind you to restart the conversation. So what we came to this realization is everybody out there is all excited about social media, but nobody's figured out that if you engage someone on Facebook Messenger, you have to follow up with them just as much as you would on the telephone or by email. So we all think jam them in an email series. Who on the call would ever think of putting someone in and sending them one email and never sending them another one with today's technology? Don't say yes, sir. I'm just going to say you really got to go get a new education, right? I mean, with email autoresponders, I mean, you just shouldn't be doing that. Everything should be a series to hope to get them over time. Yet, when all of a sudden people are talking to someone by direct message on LinkedIn or direct message on Instagram or Snapchat or anything, everybody's sending one message and then never another one. If the person doesn't come back to them, they don't keep trying to reinitiate. Right. So I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I said, this will give you all your reinitiation things to say, and it'll pop up and say, hey, you need to talk to this guy again. It's been 6 days, and you told me to remind you, and this is what you intended to say to re-engage them. And if you've been in constant contact and it doesn't work, that doesn't make any sense, don't send it. Right? And if it does make sense, customize it so it's very, very specific to him and send it. And now you've got a friend. So isn't it interesting that social networking has made a bunch of things easier, but it's made us so lazy that we don't follow up? We think because they joined our Facebook group, anything we post there, they're seeing. Somebody's not studying how Facebook works anymore.
Well,
Less
2%,
than 2%.
2% are seeing it.
Yeah, and it's about to go to 1. So 2% of all your Facebook group people, unless they specifically go to your Facebook group and look what's there,
don't see it on the newsfeed.
Don't see it on the newsfeed. They'll see it in a notification, I believe, but they'll still have to then click on it. So the problem is, if that's what you're relying on for all your communications, you're missing out on a lot.
And let's go one step further, because we're talking about in the summer. Many times when you're meeting people, you're meeting them at a coffee shop. Okay, and if it's not a Starbucks, it could be a mom and pop coffee shop in your place. I mean, you're meeting them at a restaurant. You're meeting them somewhere, and you're meeting them at a place that is a non-MLM environment.
Right.
That's not correct. It happens all the time.
Yes.
Small Business Dream is a great way to connect with non-MLMers.
That's right.
How many people do you know right now that you go do business with that would probably be a really good MLM connection? Imagine being able to connect with them in a non-MLM way and offer them something at your dry cleaner, your hairdresser, the restaurant you go to. And talk about the fact,
hey, do you want a job?
And talk about the fact that you use this really cool app for your network marketing business, but you know that there's a non-MLM, a Small Business Dream version that you might be interested in.
And it's just about creating value for people. Right?
Now you've gone and taken somebody and now made a friend, a non-MLM friend, but what is their natural thing going to be? Well, what are you doing with your app? And then when you can offer them for free a 30-day free trial, which is a $30 value. Thank you so much. You know what? I really enjoyed. I'm just gonna go to this website. You should download it and try it. It could be really cool for your restaurant. I use the same thing for my company. I use the Hour a Day version for my MLM company. Oh, what company is that?
That's right,
Craig or Dennis. Yeah. You've opened up a conversation.
You've given value. You've made the person feel that you legitimately care about them, not just want them to join your thing. You said, look, I recognize you're a small business owner and I know some of them struggle and I got this tool and you should take a look at it. It's a great idea. Then you could even have a series. In fact, I should write a series so that everyone just has access to it on how to follow up appropriately with that. You drop them in the Small Business Dream series and you keep making a friend with a subtle connection to, hey, have you tried that thing yet? Right.
Eventually, it's going to come back. I appreciate that. So what is it to use? Oh, well, I happen to be part of XYZ company. Our product is ABC, and it does this. Because we know how many people that have been involved in over 22 years had no network marketing experience, but had business experience. And then when they saw the concept of time leverage,
that got them excited.
They still had they didn't shut down their well, you did actually. You got rid of your small business.
It's glorious. Glorious.
I did. I shut down my magic shop. I stopped doing, I had a business. I shut it down and I went full time into networking. Amazing how many people you were neon signs.
Neon signs. Yep.
You got rid of that.
Employees. Oh man.
And we both been $1 million income earners in the industry. Imagine if somebody wrote us off and just thought we wouldn't be interested in one of those things.
That's right.
Well, we weren't. I wasn't anyways.
I wasn't either.
I sat like this at my first meeting.
I wasn't looking for anything at all. Although I was. I just didn't know it at the time that I was looking for something until someone showed it to me. Imagine that.
So use the tools. It goes back to over the summer, make friends with everybody.
And get a darn system of some sort. I don't care if you buy hour a day. Get something that's going to organize and control your data so that you don't become like everyone else. You don't want to be a one-hit Charlie, right? You don't want to get the guys somewhat interested at the event that you're doing something and then never follow up with them. You need to have a way to make sure if you're going to start, you behave like a professional because it's a test. You don't even realize it. It's a test. When you hammer on someone once and never follow up, why are you mad they didn't join you? You should be mad at yourself for being a doofus and not doing your job. I had that happen today too. Same call. She's like, well, I called them and they never called me back. And I went, well, how many times did you call them? Well, quite a few times. And of course, I run the system. So I logged into her system and I took a look at her contacts and I'm like, well, I just looked at 3 of them and they only have 1 message. Well, I called them from my cell phone. Okay, but you can do that from in the app too and it'll record it. Oh, well, maybe I didn't follow up with them as much as I thought. So I said, look, if your job is to contact them. You can't contact them once and then think it's their job to contact you back.
That's right. Because remember this, just because somebody phones me and leaves a message, which, by the way, I never listen to messages. I don't have time. I just don't. I see that you called me. I mean, Dennis, you call me. I don't answer.
No,
I see you call when it's time. And I see that Dennis called. I call him back.
I don't even leave a message.
So I don't have time to leave a message. So if you wonder why I never leave you messages if I'm calling you, if you don't call me back because you see that I called and I'm not on your friends list,
must not have been important.
Obviously, I'm not important enough to call back. So I mean, that's fine. But because somebody calls me, because somebody texts me, because somebody sends me an email, I am not obligated in any way to have to return that phone call.
That's right.
I'm not. There's no rule.
Your job is to get me interested enough to call you back. It's not my job to be interested just because you sent me something that wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
Right? I might even tell you I'm super interested. And then I'm still not going to call you back because I may be interested, but I might not be interested right now. I might be busy right now. I mean, think about it. If you go after people that have a lot of time and they're not busy, you shouldn't expect to build much of a business.
Right.
Go after busy people, you'll build a bigger business. Busy people won't call you back because, oh yeah, right.
They're busy. They're busy.
Right. Oh yeah, I forgot that part. Okay, so you need to take some automation tools to help the touches happen more often. And you need to pick up this heavy thing that's called a phone and reach out. And even if you know they're not there, leave them a message. Don't expect a call back, but know that they know that you called.
And that's what I love the hour a day system, because when you leave a message and then when you go into the hour a day system, you click the button that says left the message.
Yes.
It automatically puts a note in that you left the message.
Yes.
And then it sends them an email.
Yes.
That says, I just left you a voicemail.
Yes.
I get more responses to the email that says I left a voicemail.
Yeah.
And somebody replying saying, oh, sorry, I saw you called, I couldn't do it.
Yep.
Somebody will reply to the email faster than picking up the phone and calling me back.
And I'll even put in the email, you're welcome to text me if it's more convenient. And I get answers faster because automation goes out and does it. So it's just, again, I don't care what software you buy, but if you're not using some kind of a system to amplify your efforts in today's world of MLM, some kind of system to control your touches instead of thinking that your Facebook post to your group is doing it for you, then you shouldn't be expecting to grow your income.
Yeah.
If you can't afford $30 a month or $50 a month, I don't know what other people charge, then you don't really deserve to make money in this business because you're not treating it like a business.
Right.
You're hurting the industry by talking to everyone once and never going back. And everyone's going, oh yeah, another one of them MLM guys talked to me last week. Wonder if he's ever going to call back. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, usually you get that from financial planners.
Oh yeah.
Get that all the time.
And real estate agents. Yeah.
But and Matthew, thanks for your comments. We are reading them up there and seeing that. We do have fun. Dennis and I work really well together. We've been doing this for 22
quite some time.
23 years now. And so we kind of know how to work off each other. And his comment is that he likes the idea of being able to go and use small business stream.
Yes.
And it works with every MLM, but we don't think about that. We always typically have blinders on.
We do.
And we're only thinking about how we can sell our product and our service.
I'll tell you how I used to think about it. So I go into, I meet a guy that runs a pizza shop. And I immediately, because I'm in MLM, think he's thinking what I was thinking, which was, I'm really sick and tired of doing this and I want to do something different, but I can't afford to do something different. I forget that most small business people are still convinced that if they just try a little harder, a little longer, they're going to get rich. So if you want to attract a small business person, don't expect that he wants out. Show him a way to help his business. And if he doesn't want help in his business because he doesn't like it and he's thinking of leaving it, guess what he's going to tell you almost right away? No, man, I don't like this business. I mean, that sounds like a great tool, but I don't want to put anything into this business. I'm out. Really? Well, let me tell you about my other friend. I don't want to be obvious about it,
but in all seriousness, that's how this business works. You know what? As soon as you're confident enough in your business, that you're not out there begging, pleading, pushing, selling, convincing somebody to get in. When you're confident enough that's going to be there, you've got to be thinking about short-term and you got to be thinking long-term. Now, when we're talking about somebody that's already happy with their MLM, we're not in the short game.
No,
that's the long game.
Yep.
The long game is eventually, odds are,
something's going to happen to one of you.
Exactly. Either you're not going to be happy with your business, something happens to your company, or something's going to happen to his.
That's right.
And if that happens, and I should say when that happens, because it's typically inevitable that somebody is going to end up looking for something else. Take a look on LinkedIn at all the different MLM companies that somebody's been involved in over the course of their career.
And by the way, when you see that, don't get excited. They're not a good prospect.
You don't want to have somebody that jumps every 1 year, 6 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, or even better, has 3 of them still going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you can build 3 at once, You can do that. That's the only way. That's better. Because if they don't like your skincare, you can talk to them about vitamins. And if they don't like your vitamins, you can get them into that card deal. And if they don't like that,
hey, you can go get some other cool little thing that is virtual. Money.
Oh, you could. Yeah, there's that one that you just put your money in and it spits it out like an ATM. You never heard about that one? Actually, I think there's 9 of them. Oh, maybe 900 of them. Right? There's always something else. But
make friends first. It's
and
so
get
important.
The data and curate the data and control the data. It's a timing business. So, for example, let's go back to the pizza restaurant. So I go to the guy and he just came off his biggest month ever. Huh?
Is it Dario?
No, I don't know. It's just a made up story.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going back to a real one.
I'm winging it.
I'm going back to 22 years ago.
No.
Didn't you get a pizza business guy?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it was from that. But so let's think about the timing of it, right? Okay, so I approach you and you just had your biggest month ever. You're a couple of years in. You think it's on the upswing, and you're deaf. You're not hearing anything I'm saying because you're pretty jazzed up about your pocket full of cash. If I don't keep following up with you, assuming that you're going to be happy forever, what I don't know is you just got shut down by the health inspector for a month, 3 months later, and you've just lost all your income, and it's $192,000 to fix the problem. So now you're in a complete funk. Wouldn't it be better that I kept in touch with you because timing might have changed, situation might have changed, which is why you need something to help you keep in touch automatically, because you don't have time to follow up with people that might not be a prospect today.
Right.
But your machine can look after it for you. So just remember, no matter how good someone's doing today, right? Imagine everyone living in Fort McMurray. 6 months ago, they were on top of the world with their big, heavy oil-paying jobs. Right now, they're in a bit of a funk.
Bit of a funk. For those of you in the States that don't know, they had a big wildfire up in Fort McMurray up in northern Alberta, and it was pretty bad. It just about burned down the entire town.
Yeah, and evacuated a bunch of the city for a couple of weeks. And I mean, it was just crazy. So the reality is stuff always happens in life. So that's why you got to realize it's timing. I joined the business my first time, timing. If she would have got me 6 months earlier, not a chance. 6 months later, probably not a chance. But eventually the timing's right for most people where they've lost their job, they've been downsized, they didn't get the raise, they're a bit disappointed, they need something for the kids at school, or, I mean, there's always something that makes people's situation change, which is why you need to have the long play. Yeah. You need to have the thing that keeps, you need to have the, hey man, just thinking about you because I know you were into hockey. Did you hear about the blow? I don't know. I can't.
Oh, right now,
I can't even pretend.
We got World Cup of soccer going on right now.
Right.
Portugal, go Portugal. They won today.
So the point is, if you categorize that data and you can have all this stuff just randomly going out, so you're maintaining the relationship. Because you know what happens when you send out the beer thing, that person almost always replies to my beer one. My beer and my wine, my alcohol ones, or even the non-drinker. Because with the non-drinker series, I go right in and say, hey man, I remember you saying you were a non-drinker. It's summer, and I don't know if you don't drink for a reason or you just don't like it, but I found the most awesome mocktail recipe for a blah, and I thought you might enjoy it. And I get responses to those emails. Man, thanks so much for thinking of me. That's a legitimate connection that you can't pay for. And it was all because you just pushed a couple of buttons.
Yeah.
So even though I want to say, because it's a bottled thing, so it doesn't really feel personal to you. But the fact that it creates a personal interaction, that now you have an email chain back and forth and you deepen that relationship, means that, in my opinion, you didn't do something wrong. You just formed a deeper relationship with a human being over something that wasn't your frickin' MLM. Exactly. So when they're ready and the timing is right, they're going to know and trust you, and you can run around.
And talking about your Facebook and you're posting about your MLM, remember, out of every 10 posts that you're putting out on your social media, make 9 of them not about your company or your products. 9 of them are about maybe the industry. It could be about something different. It could be about a nice little recipe for the summer. It could be a funny little viral video about a cat. I don't care what it is, but make sure that 9 out of 10 of them are not about your MLM.
Facebook's biggest dilemma right now, and why they're thinking of going from 2% to 1% and screwing advertisers even more, actually suppressing ads from showing at all. Facebook is not a place that your friends go to be sold stuff. Okay.
Shiitake mushrooms.
Right. So don't be that person that's using Facebook wrong. Every now and then you say something and don't make it direct. Make it, hey, this is a cool thing. Click here for more information. So it's not a 900-page article with a picture of your MLM logo and whatever. Keep it classy and realize that Facebook's a place where friends meet and hang out and keep up with each other. So to use it the wrong way, you're just going to find yourself secretly removed from all of their news feeds, in which case now you're doing the wrong thing. You're still wasting time doing the wrong thing, but now nobody's listening.
Right.
So, don't abuse it because you bought some stupid course that tells you how to get rich with Facebook and MLM. The only guy getting rich is the guy that sold you the course.
Exactly.
Okay. Treat your friends as friends. Don't get into that, pounding them on Facebook. And, LinkedIn, I love it. People put a million things on LinkedIn. You know what? I've never looked at my LinkedIn feed.
Oh, and I'm opposite. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I actually look at my LinkedIn feed quite often.
And I don't. So we can't. My point of this is, don't assume that because you're posting it, someone's noticing it.
Right.
You need to direct message, email, phone to keep in touch with people.
Tweet.
The other things. Yeah, tweet. The other things are great to add to your efforts. But if you're not picking up the phone, getting an email address, getting other positive forms of communication, you're not communicating as much as you think, which means you're probably getting the results you deserve.
Yeah. So remember, if it's against the law to be a distributor in your company, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Right? So often the answer is no. If you were your boss, would you fire you? Most of the time the answer is yes. What do you think about it?
I gotta go.
You're the exact opposite.
I don't listen well.
Yeah, well, that's why you are your own boss.
I have to be the boss. No one would ever hire me.
So everybody, we kind of hope, we just wanted to give you, a little bit of insight. I know we got on topic, a little off topic, but
double down. Double down. Get out there and meet as many people as you can. Go to every event that people ever invite you to, but don't go there looking to corner someone to vomit on them. Go there to make the connections, collect phone numbers, make new friends, do things that aren't in your face, and go there to expand your circle of influence. So double down. Go to everything you get invited to. Push your way into being invited. If you've screwed it up because you've done it the wrong way and nobody's inviting you, get yourself to the event and prove to them you've changed.
Yeah.
Because if you're that person, you're probably not getting invited anymore. If you're not yet that person, don't become that person. But go to everything you can, whether you want to or not. Consider it your job. Double down, make connections, get people into follow-up, get people out to meetings, Just make the friends so that it naturally evolves, not at the first meeting, maybe not even the second meeting. Maybe you don't even talk to them for 2 months about the business, but double down on meeting people and getting to know people and finding those that are interested right away versus those that you need to long play. Double down. Don't go into holiday mode or September, October will not be fun for you.
Right.
Double down. September and October will blow your mind.
Go fill the funnel now. You want to get your sales funnel filled right now over the summer. Fill it up. You're going to get people making decisions over the summer.
Sure.
Right. You're gonna get new customers. You're gonna get new
twice
distributors.
as much effort. To do it, but you're gonna get the results in the summer, and then you're gonna get 4 times your effort in September, October.
Pays off in the long run.
Double down, double down, double down.
Double down. All right.
Split the aces.
We should have called that double down.
Double down.
We're always gonna split aces.
Summer double down. So sometimes I just talk right out of my butt. I don't even know what I'm saying or what it means, but if you agree that I know I said the right thing.
There we go. So thank you for your comments, Matthew. It's always good having you and everybody else that has joined us. We want to thank you for taking time out of your evening. We know you can do something else, but now get out there and go and double down. Talk to more people. You know, you shouldn't get, as soon as you hang up from here, you know what?
That's what it takes.
Get out there, talk to a few people, tell them what's going on, get them into your system, use the app, follow up, double down, triple down. You know what?
Get her done.
Get her done. Do it. And have yourselves a great summer. Craig Peloquin,
Dennis Wilson.
Have yourselves a great day.